With Space Time Smackdown, the best Stage 2 evolution was released, MAGNEZONE. This card makes all other Stage 2s look bad. 140 HP and an attack that deals 110 seems pretty solid. Until you realize this Stage 1 evolution piece can build up energy on its own. We go from solid to straight up busted. This allows players to incorporate the MAGNEZONE evolution line onto any deck, regardless of the energy type it uses. Combinations with Darkrai, Skarmory, and fighting types took the meta by storm. With Triumphant Light, we got a second MAGNEZONE, and nobody talks about it. The new MAGNEZONE is a steel type, and unlike its electric counterpart, it serves more of a defensive role. The issue this card faces is that its Power Beam attack requires two specific sources of steel type energy, meaning regardless of how many times you Volt Charge onto Magneton, you'll still be required to place 2 energy onto it yourself in order to be able to attack with it. It's no mystery that MAGNEZONE A is far superior to MAGNEZONE B, but MAGNEZONE B deserves a deck regardless. Like the new Raichu, our new MAGNEZONE has the Resilience Link ability. As long as Arceus is on the board, MAGNEZONE will take 30 damage less from each incoming attack. While Raichu's Spark attack synergizes well with Cyrus, MAGNEZONE can still be played with Electric type Magneton, which provides it with powerful synergy with Dawn. Today's deck is an Arceus Steel type build designed to heavily synergize around Dawn. Both Rotom and Magneton work wonders with this trainer card, allowing us to set up an Ultimate Force attack from Arceus potentially faster than Dialga Arceus. This is why we do not run Leaf in the deck. If we're forced to lead off with Arceus, we build up Magneton in the back and rally over energy onto it. If we lead off with Rotom, we can use it to sponge 1 or 2 early hits and then retreat for free. Send MAGNEZONE to the front line and 2-hit KO our opponent's Pokemon while we tank their hits like nothing. The new MAGNEZONE deserves some love too, and this deck gives the card purpose in a game where the older brother completely outshines it. What Pokemon should I build around next? You decide. Leave a comment down below and we'll see what we can do. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We post Pokemon Pocket decks here daily. Have a solid day, enjoy the games, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, let's play some MAGNEZONE. The edgy based MAGNEZONE. Seed Water, I kind of wish I had the other MAGNEZONE. We have an Arceus lead while going second, and we have Dawn. So we don't run Leaf in this deck because we're able to enable Arceus quickly with our Dawn Magneton combo. But we do have to find Magnemite into Magneton to be able to apply that. But there is a chance we can enable that turn 2 or our turn 2 Ultimate Force. We're gonna go for the Pokeball first. Hope we get Magnemite here. That would be ideal. Okay, so far so good. So far we're doing okay. And we do have Pokemon Communication, which we can try to use early to really find that Magneton. Ideally drawn to something like Professor's Research so we can find more pieces and thin our deck out of basic Pokemon because we still have... Oh boy. It's Blastoise and it's Misty and it fails. Sucks to be you, guy. They still get to ramp though. A little bit spooky. Let's see what we find here. This draw is really key. Another Magnemite. Do I go for this? What are the odds? I have 2 Rotoms, 2 Magnetons, 2 MAGNEZONES, and 1 Arceus. That means 2 out of 7 cards. So it is definitely early for us to play this Pokemon Communication, I think. But at the same time, if we don't find it, we just adjust. But we may as well go for it, as it would be absolutely game-winning here if we do find it. And I am just that good at the game! Oh my god. OP. Boom. Volt Charge. Into Dawn. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Into Rocky Helmet, baby. Let's get it. It's not quite the ultimate force, but it is ultimate enough. Or it is forceful enough to knock out Manaphy and prevent the second ramp. As now we can just focus on building up Magneton. In this matchup, Magneton will do the same damage. Our Magnezone will do the same damage as our Magnezone. English. That's fair. We're just strong enough to deal with this War Turtle, but they got that Blastoise in the back. Gonna come in and threaten quite a bit of damage here. We're gonna keep charging. We're gonna put an energy onto the Magneton because we could always draw into the Magnezone. And we're gonna Ultimate Force again. This Rocky Helmet is really important, as it's gonna allow us to weaken the Blastoise to a point where our spinning attack can finish things off here. Hydro Bazooka is gonna be dealing 100 damage. They have a Rocky Helmet as well, but we have 140 HP, which allows us to attack into this anyways. Bazooka going in. Another Arceus in the mix. We put the energy onto the Arceus. We Volt Charge with Magneton. And we can actually fire... Oh my god, with this Dawn, we can fire it off again. We're going to Ultimate Force. And we're going to be able to back-to-back Ultimate Force here. With the second Arceus draw. We are thick enough to survive here. And the second Dawn will allow us to just fire off again. Dealing 110 damage. They Sabrina. We bring in Arceus. Because we can tank this hit. And now that they play a supporter card, they can play something like a Misty. So Hydro Bazooka still caps out at 100. And that Sabrina is going to allow us to win 3-0. And they may have Rage Quit. They may have just like... Some players are used to Sabrina just winning. They just kind of like play without thinking. I mean, technically we're stuck here, right? But not really, because we have an energy onto it. I don't think they put much thought into Sabrina. I think that was a tilt Sabrina. And they're already gone. Like, I'm just literally talking to myself here. So I'm going to stop talking and wait for the timer to run out. I'll see you then. 3, 2, 1. For the sake of the intro, I'm going to do all this unnecessary stuff. I'm going to charge. I'm going to Dawn. And Ultimate Force. Yeah, so we can showcase it properly in the intro. What the deck is all about. Essentially, again, still just talking to myself. Like my opponent has been gone for like 2 minutes. But I'll take it. Neat. All right, round 2. What do we got? Psychic. We have the entire Magnezone Evolution line here. That's pretty neat. Whoa. Nani. I don't think I should have Rocky Helmet here. Because there's like Giratina in front of me and like it has a retreat cost of 3. It could be pure Psychic Energy with Leafeon. What? Okay, I ran into somebody who just does not care. The ultimate non-meta play right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna develop Arceus. Okay, no, they do run. They are double energy. They are playing double energy. Okay. They could Sabrina me if I play this Arceus, but I could always top deck Dawn. to retreat it back because I do want that resilience link online. I don't think I need to play any tool here. For now, I don't think I need to do that. I need to keep my options open. So I'm just going to power beam. I'll be taking 90 damage. 90 damage from this crisis dive that they just like built up naturally. They play Rocky Helmet into this. Okay. And they're just going to dump all that energy. So no like special combo with this thing or anything, just like just building it up. We're gonna go for another Pokeball. Hopefully Magnemite here because we could enable. Oh yeah, my Pokemon love me. They just listen. I could get buried here, but I actually don't need to. Now I do want to play the Rocky Helmet because if they send Heracross in and attack me with Berry, unless they flip double heads, they're going to be dealing 50 damage to me. Reduced by 30, they're going to be dealing 20 damage to me. So I'll be able to live on 10 HP. And the Rocky Helmet would put them at range for Power Beam to knock them out back. So despite this Rocky Helmet, despite me being really low, I am thick enough to survive this. They can't Berry and Giovanni on the same turn. Actually, this is completely irrelevant because they don't have any grass energy. So that entire thought process is for nothing, really. Because, you know, it's easy to forget when you're facing a dual energy deck that they also need to roll the energy that they need. Like, Heracross in a dual energy deck is just like... I understand wanting to be a little bit off meta and stuff, but that's just... it's kind of a bit much. But, you know, who am I to judge? I'm going to drop this Magneton here. I'm going to put the Volt Charge on you. Energy onto Arceus. I'm going to drop that Rotom because they go for like a Sabrina for some reason. I don't know. I'm going to go for the Power Beam here again. Because I live a berry. 75% of the time, I survive. This deck is wacky. This deck is wacky as hell. Maybe they get double heads here. And the plot thickens, but you know, or just like nothing. Can't help but feel a little bit bad for them here because now Mew comes in and Mew actually cannot touch my Magnezone. Omega lol. Very off meta matchup, but I want to leave it in because I don't know, this guy really came off like a Chad. I'm talking about Magnezone. Like he just came in and took all the hits and put our opponents in a position where they actually could not revenge him after because the Mew does nothing to him. So while we're not incorporating stuff like healing and such, like we're just using Magnezone as a bulky mid-game attacker to finish off with our boy Arceus in the back. So yeah, not a meta matchup, but I'll take that as a hard-earned win anyways. I gotta try to build a Giratina deck. That's quite the challenge, but it is on my to-do list, so stay tuned for that. I don't know how I'm going to make it anywhere near playable, but I'll try. Round 3. And we'll just keep going first against water. We have the Arceus lead, but we do have Magneton as well. We are one Magnemite away from being able to surprise them with an early Ultimate Force here. I mean, we also need Dawn. There she is. Magnemite? Come on. Come on. It has to be you. God damn it. Yeah, that's not great. When you run 6 basics, this is bound to happen. It would have been so neat. I mean, I still have 1 turn. If I draw MAGNEZONE next turn, I can still do it. Okay, so inbred EV, as I like to call it, with an inbred level attack. Oh my god, how am I so good at this game? What did they Sabrina me? Why would they Sabrina me here? If they Sabrina me, they slow me down regardless. So I'm just gonna keep it. I'm not gonna drop this other Arceus. I don't want to clog myself here. They play Glaceon. And Glaceon's snowy terrain does actually affect Arceus, in case you're wondering. Arceus is immune to special conditions, but this is not a special condition. Okay, they want to ramp, and we're going to deny that immediately. With this Dawn, they expect the ability to be able to set up 2 ramps with this Manaphy, and we're not going to allow that to happen. As now we play Magneton, we Volt Charge. We place energy onto Arceus. The question is, do I play this other Arceus? Do I go for the Pokemon communication now? I don't want to reveal the overall output of my attack. They can't Sabrina and do something like Dawn as well. And this Ultimate Force is strong enough to knock out the Manaphy. It's the power of Magneton and Dawn. It actually allows us to ramp. We combo this way and we accelerate the Arceus. And they're building up the Gyarados in the back. Okay. But the moment I hit this Cyrus just wins. Now we go for the Pokeball here. Let's see what we get. We get a Rotom. All right. We do want to hit them as hard as possible now. We Volt Charge again. We play Rotom into Arceus. And we place the energy onto Magneton here, because then we just need to draw MAGNEZONE in case this goes down for whatever reason. And we Ultimate Force again. And now this Glaceon is a liability. Misty could be problematic if they somehow manage to take energy away from... I mean, you know, if they flip heads... Okay, no. Yeah. Well, let's not overcomplicate things. Let's just make them concede. Where are you going? I haven't seen a Glaceon deck yet that I'm impressed with. I know some of you have been suggesting. It's actually quite tricky. Because, you know, I don't want to end up making a deck that's reliant on Misty. It's a card that it is on my radar. Like, I do want to explore with it. But until I have something that I feel is genuinely, like, fun and interesting, I'm not really going to rush it. But so far, like, the Glaceon decks that I've seen, like, I think the key lies in combining it with Vaporeon. And playing Eevee and having a deck that runs Vaporeon and Glaceon and choosing, you know, with Pokemon communication. And having a board state where you have a Glaceon and a Vaporeon. But then the deck kind of like ends up being a variation of the Palkia deck, which I think is fine, but perhaps not as exciting. I don't know. I'll get back to you guys on that one. But we just keep showcasing the Magneton Arceus Dawn combo, which is one of the main reasons to play the new MAGNEZONE, actually. I'm yapping a lot today. Let's go for another one. All right. Nipple. Well, I'm going second against you, Nipple. What do you got? You got Electric. All right. I have Rotom. But I'm not going to develop Arceus. Because I don't want you to Sabrina me turn 1 and slow me down. Okay. So it's Electric and Arceus. This could be Raichu. We don't have to place energy onto Rotom. We can retreat it for free, potentially. We pick up another Rotom, which means the odds of this Pokeball being a Magnemite are 66%. I like those odds. Very nice. We do want to play the Magnemite, and okay. All right. Going first. Once more. Against Darkness. But I'm still going to lead off with the Rotom here. Because generally when you play into Darkness nowadays, it's kind of like a variation of a Dark... Oh, never mind. It's a Zubat that's going to eat me alive. Oh, God, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? I have a great opener, though, with double Pokeball. I can potentially retreat this Rotom. I can use this Rotom to even, like, sponge the bite. If it comes down to that. We find Arceus and another Rotom. Now we go for the Professor's Research, because now we want to find all the other pieces. Including Magneton and Magnezone. Oh, baby, you love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. I don't necessarily want to clog myself here. I don't think they have a reason to... Let's keep our play a little bit of a mystery here. Let's just leave things as they are. I'm not expecting Mars from them. I'm expecting them to bite me. Which is honestly kind of rude, but I'm expecting it nonetheless. There's the Cyrus, because we have Cyrus. I am kind of compelled to target that Arceus at the back. How do we approach this? I mean, first of all, let's go for the research here. Because we find another mag, like, I don't... I'm going to drop the Arceus now. And I'm going to play this Magnemite as well. And I'm actually going to pivot the Rotom into the Magneton here. Because I have Magnezone, and Magnezone allows me to one-shot Golbat. Being able to threaten Golbat is really key here. So we're gonna pull this aggressive switch. They evolve to Golbat, no Cape. Cape is the only problematic play here. Rocky Helmet is fine. What is left in my deck? Okay, so I have 4, 5, 6, 7. I like the idea of just beginning to enable another Magneton immediately. So I'm going to go for this Pokemon Communication. It's a 50% chance I get what I need here, or not. Okay, I think it was worth trying. We Volt Charge. We put an energy onto your boy, so we can enable the attack. And we Power Beam, denying the Crobat. And forcing the Darkrai to come in a turn early. We have the Cyrus. We did get rid of a basic Pokemon, which could weaken our Cyrus attack, but we're gonna hit this Darkrai hard enough for Arceus to be able to finish them off. And I guess yeah, it is kind of checkmate when we force the Darkrai to come in one turn earlier and not be able to attack, right? Because that means we get a Power Beam off of it, and that's like 60 HP. They have 2 EX Pokemon. They can't evolve into Crobat. Denying the Crobat there was huge. So that aggressive switch, that game was more than anything a highlight of Rotom. We can lead off with Rotom. Rotom is thick enough to survive most initial hits, even a super effective one like that, and then we can pivot. We can pivot for free and bring in the appropriate Pokemon in. And it also synergizes with our 2 copies of Dawn as well. So that was... Rotom was actually the MVP there. And, you know, Magnezone, who also, like, dealt all the damage, but, you know. All right, Mott LeBlanc. Or, no, that's the actor. What am I can't. Sometimes I can't. We have a Magnemite lead going first. Not ideal, but I've also seen worse. As we do have Magneton, like the rest of our hand is really promising. We could just enable a Magnezone lead. As Articuno Misty is obviously a big threat. We're going to go for double Pokeball first. As we find the Arceus. And now we thin the deck out of another basic. Rotom. And then we Professor's Research. We find Magnezone and we find another Rotom. I'm going to drop one Rotom. I just need them to not flip heads with Misty, essentially. That's where we're at. I'm going to drop another Magnemite. Another question is, what's safest? Because if they flip a heads, then they just kind of like automatically win if we deploy onto this one. Do we play around that? Yes, because we can Dawn to pivot. Actually, no, we can't. If I had played this Magnemite one turn earlier, I would have done it. But otherwise, I'm just going to do this. I'm so vulnerable to a Misty. They have to have Misty, and they have to flip heads with it. And I feel like if they had Misty, they would have gone for a turn 1, so they have to draw it now. So I'm going to go with this. Okay, we got another Magneton. That's very nice, actually. We Volt Charge here. We develop Arceus. We place a second Steel-type energy onto our Magnezone. We forgot to Volt Charge there. Okay, it's fine. We don't intend to retreat with this anyways. They have the Irida. We were expecting that. But this Blizzard is only going to deal 50 damage to us. So the Dawn allows us to enable the Arceus faster. And we have just enough health to survive the Rocky Helmet recoil. We put the energy onto Arceus and prepare for a Dawn retaliation here. As we Power Beam again. And our thickness allows us to withstand this. If they were to Cyrus us, the Magnezone will not take damage from the Blizzard in the bench. I'm expecting a Cyrus or a Sabrina play here. But this Magnezone will not go down. And they don't expect a Dawn. My boy tanking. The front and back, baby. Conceding coming in 3, 2. I mean, I could kill him with the Magnezone too, but you know. Mott LeBlanc. The star. of that one sitcom a long time ago, Defeated. I love beating all in Articuno. It's my favorite thing to do. Sensoke. What do you got for us, Sensoke? Psychic. All right, we got a Rotom lead. We got Magneton and Magnezone already. Mom Spaghetti. We could eventually dash with the Rotom. Oh, okay. A Mesprit lead is not something they must be happy with, though. I've heard that, you know, when I uploaded my Mesprit video, a lot of people were saying, well, I play it with Shaman Sky instead. And I hope they do. Because that just means that their entire Pokemon lineup caps out at 70 HP. Which makes things very easy to kill with something like Magnezone, for example. We got the Pokeball. Is that a Magnemite? That is an Arceus. Alright, I could just start dealing damage. What about this Pokemon communication? There's still a lot of like factors, like I don't want to resort to it just yet. I think placing the energy onto the Rotom and start attacking this is... Unless we just want to build the Arceus immediately. Like, what's the point of attacking with this, though? Let's keep our plans a little bit mysterious for the time being. Let's go for the dash attack onto you. Let's not play the Arceus yet because they can target it with the Azelf later. So I don't want the Arceus to be vulnerable to a Cyrus. So if they go for like an X speed into Azelf here, they play double Mesprit. Holy greed. Where's your Uxie though? Where is your Uxie though? Now we do deploy Cyrus. I think at this point we have to go for the Pokemon communication just to see if we can find the Magnemite. The odds are not insane, but they do exist. And we take them. Oh yeah. My Magnemite one-shots everything. My Magnezone, I mean, even though I don't have it. Let's put energy onto Arceus, who is enabled as an attacker and also does one-shot everything. Let's dash and hit the Mesprit. Basically lining them up for Magneton spinning attack to be enough, and also giving my Cyrus options open. We're no longer vulnerable to a Sabrina. But we did just top deck Dawn, which essentially completely shuts them down. As we go for the Volt Charge. This is why we also incorporate Rotom. Like, our Dawn is so good in this deck. It's wild how good it is. Ultimate Force, Ultimate Death. Oh yeah. And now which is kind of sweet because now I have to start all over. Like, building up the Mesprit in the front is an interesting approach. But as you can see, not the ideal one. You have this Celestine Elder, yeah, that's fine and all, but you ain't got no mana. You ain't got no mana, bruh. And I love how good Dawn is in this build. Like, I generally don't go for two Dawns in most decks, but in this one, you know, with the Rotom and the Magneton combination, it's just amazing. It really accelerates Arceus. And it justifies like the Magnezone combination more even. They do play the Shaman. I don't know why this is like the most popular version. Like, if you want the best version of Mesprit, check out my channel, check out my Mesprit video. The problem with Shaman is that your entire deck caps at 70, so you have no hopes. Once your opponent gets a decent attacker online, like you just get swept. And yeah. Yeah, conceding coming in 3. They didn't even need to see the That's the problem. If you have a Giratina and you put a cape on it, you could survive high in the attacks. But running Shaman Sky means your entire lineup is way too frail. And the rebuttal that I got from somebody was like, well, it's a meme deck anyways. Yeah, but just because it's not a top tier deck doesn't mean you can't try to make it the best deck it is. So, you know, Shaman Sky is just strictly worse. Like, your deck is way too frail and you just get completely run over by so many builds. So yeah, check out my version. Not biased at all, but check out my video and you'll see what I'm talking about. Shameless plug right there. Let's go for another one. Obi-Wan Blake Knob. Cool story, bro. What do you got for me? Water. A color chose a color. I can't even English. A color pick. There's a word that I'm searching for, but I just can't find it. It's embarrassing. I have Dawn and I have Magnemite, so I want to lead off with Arceus actually. Draw the Magnemite in case they have like a random Mars, because they're an all-in Articuno deck with a bunch of trainer cards. But leading off with Arceus is neat here because of Dawn, because we already have the Magnemite in hand. We just need Magneton, and we can enable our Arceus to attack 1 turn earlier, which is absolutely devastating. With this Pokeball as well, we can really beef it up. And, you know, after this video, I'm going to move on to non-Arceus decks. You know, that's kind of like what this expansion is. It's a bunch of link abilities. It's very Arceus-centered. The good thing is Arceus decks are very flexible. There's many different ways to build them, but eventually you get tired of seeing the same win condition. So don't worry, like, I will explore other things. And I don't know if they disconnected on me. Okay, they didn't. They just took like 1 million. Or no, or maybe the game just automatically placed it for them. We really need a ranked mode, because you guys have no idea. When I record a video, like, it feels like 50% of my games are this. You know, people just queuing in and then disconnecting. A ranked mode will disincentivize people from doing this, essentially. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe they just, like, lost their connection for a moment, because they seem to be back. Okay. But I mean what I say, though. They're playing the old Magikarp. But yeah, I mean what I say. Like, if there is a ranked ladder, then, you know, once you climb to the rank, you'll stop running into people who just, like, disconcede half of their games. Disconnect. All right, so they missed it and they fail. Sucks to be you, guy. I'm going to go for double Pokeball, but I'm going to keep 1 basic Pokemon in hand for Pokemon communication. I have double Magnemite. That's very nice. And another Arceus. I'm going to drop this second Magnemite. Build up energy onto the Arceus. Keep this other Arceus in hand, because if I find Magneton, then I can just Ultimate Force them immediately. They evolve into Gyarados immediately, though. Magneton. Magnet. Oh. I am so good at this game. Oh my goodness. Volt Charge. Energy. And Dawn, baby. And you're done. You are so done. All right. Time to flip 4 heads on Misty. You got this. I shouldn't get too cocky, because that's the kind of stuff that happens in these situations. Okay, no Misty this turn. Building up the Gyarados in the back. You know, games in which I managed to do this end up being quite one-sided, but I want to showcase them anyways, because that's the point of the deck. is such a powerful opener, and it compels us to play Arceus without Leaf. Because if we have the Arceus lead, we just build that up. As now, I'm just going to place energy onto the Magneton. And I'm going to force him again. And we're not out of the waters. Pun intended, I guess. As they could Misty. Misty always enables crazy things. I mean, not always, but can enable very crazy things. Like a double heads Misty here, basically. A double heads Misty can just flip this game over on its head or just do nothing. And now they may just automatically concede. Yep. Because that's what Misty players do, essentially. They turn the game to a coin flip. My favorite card. But really, shoutouts, like this opener is amazing. Like being able to lead off with Arceus and enable him one turn earlier while going second is so powerful. It's like our own version of Misty, but we don't gotta flip for it. All right, I don't know your name, but you'll be my final boss. Electric. Well, I got a little bit of different kind of electric here with Rotom. And we do have Magneton in the opening hand and a Pokeball. A Joltik. Oh. Okay. I need basics now more than anything, so I'm going to go for the Professor's Research first because I don't want to thin my deck out of basics. I want to draw them. And then go for the Pokeball as well. We find the Magnemite. And we find another Magnemite. And I'm going to deploy 2 of them. On the flanks. We have Pokemon Communication, but I'd rather use it for something like the other Rotom to find the pieces that we need. Always feels great to have that back-to-back Professor's Research. We're getting hit here. Okay, there's the Magnezone. And there's the Arceus. What's left in my deck? Arceus, Magneton, Magnezone. So this Pokemon Communication can allow me to find... There's a good chance, there's a 33% chance I get what I need here. So at this point, it's worth going for it because if it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. And if it does, oh boy. We knock out Galvantula. But then again, do we really need to... We can pivot this into Magneton and put a cape on it. Nah. I am going to put the cape on here, but I'm just going to preserve this. I'll let the Rotom go down. I'll let them evolve into that. Pachirisu. Maybe I should have pivoted, but I'd rather not take the hit beforehand. And now they put the... I'm able to one-shot this, which is insane. Being able to one-shot this and not taking prior damage on Magneton is a big deal. So we do give them a point, but I think it's ultimately worth it. Because now we got your boy Arceus. We keep Volt Charging. And we one-shot this asshole. And we got that resilience. We got that resilience link. Manectric comes in, but only deals 10 damage to us. The 90 HP is a little bit annoying. as they can also, you know, make use of that time and build up Pachirisu in the back, but their deck is a lot of like mid-range level attacks. They don't have high-end attacks here. So my Magnezone is gonna really shine in this matchup. Look at that. That tickled. That was nothing. Pathetic. I'm gonna Volt Charge and start pumping up the Arceus. And now I'm gonna beam. I could miss, like I am flashed. I do miss. But this Manectric is dealing so little damage to me that we are okay with it. Pachirisu threatens us with 50 damage. So we're just gonna hold the line here. I mean, I honestly don't know how this is happening because it's like it's a Magnezone. Like that's a mechanical eye, so I don't know how it's getting flashed, but it is. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with all this energy onto Magneton. I guess I can attack with it, but I don't really see the need. Sabrina would be annoying, but I'm just gonna keep attacking through. Come on, don't get flashed twice. There we go. There we go. That's my Pokemon. Sabrina is what concerns me the most, because if I give them the Arceus to tank the hit, they could Sabrina into Cyrus. But given the amount of Pokemon that they run and the fact that they run a full set of tools for Pachirisu, I don't think they run Sabrina. I think they just run Cyrus. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but it's what I believe. Oh, Jesus. I have to give them the Magneton. There's no other way. There's literally no other way. My boy Magnezone just tanked in like crazy there. And to be honest, given the structure of their deck, I think we just send Arceus now, we hit them hard, and then we can use Rotom for the finish as they try to pivot away. I like that plan. I like that strategy. Ultimate Force. Have this Pachirisu Baylor survive? They ain't got no potion. No, sir. Force them to retreat and then have the Rotom for the checkmate. The entire squad here putting in the work. There we go. He just tanked those hits like nothing. Like that's the kind of matchup where this effect really shines, when where they have like, you know, 40 damage, 70 damage, 80 damage. That's when things are really neat. But it's a combination of that, like a really solid Pokemon to just apply pressure, but also hold the line for a while, and that Magneton earlier with the Dawn, enabling a quick Arceus, and the Rotom with that reach and also quick pivoting as well. It's a fun deck. But, you know, from now on, I'm gonna move on to non-Arceus builds. There's still a lot to do, even with the old cards and such, which I'm gonna be revisiting. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Have a soul day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.